Hi guys. Sorry, I just felt the need to actually share this. It's right inside my heart, and it is about love, self-love rather, self-love, self-respect, self-forgiveness. As much as it's so easy to preach on these things like self-love this, self-love that, but it's one of the hardest things that a person can actually accomplish. Personally, it's one of the hardest things that I, as a person, I'm still struggling with. You see, it's so easy for taking pictures and actually having captions, self-love, self-worth, but then it is self-love and self-worth and self respect and self-forgiveness is more than that. It's more than just taking a picture and writing those fancy caption, but it has everything to do with dealing with yourself step by step on your daily basis. And it is so hard, guys. And self-love has nothing to do with the physical parts. Most of the time we think self-love is the physical parts, hygiene purposes. It's not. It has. That is why we find a lot of people who are beautiful, on flick, and yet we hear that, oh, who and who has passed away, they committed suicide. But how? They were so beautiful, they were so clean. It is because all of those things are not the physical apparent, but it has everything to do with your emotional, your psychological, aspect of life. And that it's so hard, it is so hard to actually get to a level where you love yourself to a point you just do everything to protect yourself. In every decision that we do as people, they affect us. It's either they affect us negatively or positively. And self-love would have to do with every decision that you take. You do not compromise yourself. You do not compromise your mental health. You do not compromise your spiritual or emotional health, which is one of the hardest things to do. We find ourselves going through things that are emotionally draining. Physically, they might not be draining, but then emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, they are just draining you as a person. And it's so hard, guys. It is so hard. And having to come to self forgiveness, one of the to me, it's kind of like somehow impossible, but it's doable, but really impossible, because everything that you're trying to forgive yourself from is at the back of your mind. You know exactly what you're going through, you know exactly what you went through and what you're trying to forgive yourself, but it's so hard because it's like it's always with you. You can forget about it at sometimes, but when it comes back, it hits you hard, and you're like, but I thought I had forgiven myself, only to find that you're still working on it. It's a process. Even, I mean, forgiving someone is so, asking for forgiveness to someone, it's so hard that you would go to that person and start to mumble and whatever, and then come to a point where you're like, hey, I am sorry for this. But having to come back having to come back to yourself and be like, look, Googs, I did this to you, I did this to you, and please forgive me. It's one of the hardest things that, as a person, I am personally struggling with, because we're going through stuff as people. People look at us and feel like everything is fine, it's cool, but in actual fact, we are facing things. Kristen would say we're facing our own God and stuff, but it's so hard, guys. Self-love is so hard, self-forgiveness is so harder, and it's just so hard, guys. I don't know, I'm just doing this video too. I do hope that one day we will actually get to a level where we actually have fulfill self-love and self-respect and self-forgiveness, because it's the hardest thing that one would ever do. And I pray and I hope that one day I'll also move on everything.